Even on a frosty day, allotment sites look beautiful. I can smell either a bonfire or a coal fire, but whatever it is, it smells very nice indeed. So, today is the last day of November. So I've actually just filmed a video walking through the streets, but I felt like I just wanted to walk today, and so that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to walk down to the river. Sometimes you get these urges, and this is what I'll be doing when I'm in Wales. I'll be walking the mountains for hours, obviously making a video for you. Oh, beautiful smell. I think it's wood. It's a wood smell. So, when you see this, it'll be December. So Christmas is here. It does feel like this year everybody hasn't been that excited to start Christmas. I've noticed a lot of Christmas trees, public Christmas trees, have only just been switched on now, the last day in November, and I haven't seen anybody's house trimmed up yet. Whereas I think in the last few years they've been trimmed up third week in November. So maybe people are not in the mood. Are you in the mood? I haven't been in the mood for the last few years. Oh. But this year I might be. I'm planning to go into London and film the Christmas lights, because this will be the last Christmas that I will have in old London town. I've got a list of things I want to do before I leave, so there might be a lot of London content. Talking about content, and I know a few of you are interested in this. In November, I put up a lot of videos, a lot of my old stuff. And they say in YouTube land, once you start something, stay in your lane. It's very difficult to change. Very difficult to change an audience's mind. And I tried about 5 years ago to do non-garden related things, and it didn't go down well. There was a backlash. Nobody watched the videos I put up there. Oh look, somebody's lost their keys. Let's hope they find them. It's too cold to be out. So I tried to change the content, and it didn't work. People kept saying, we want gardening, we want the rusty plot. So I gave them gardening. And then, when was it? It was after that lockdown that we had, and I started putting some other content up, and people started to accept it. Well, what's been interesting over November is, because I took all my videos down and then I put them all back up again, what's been interesting is, every time I put a Sean's Allotment Garden video back on the channel, I lose about 10 subscribers. And they're not bringing in that much, bringing in like 80p or a pound at the most. And I dawned on me the other day, I think the tide has now turned. People are liking what I put up. For some reason, especially over the last few months, people have said you seem far more relaxed, mainly because I've stopped looking at the analytics side of things. I've unsubscribed from every YouTube guru, because at the end of the day, nobody knows. And I've stopped playing the YouTube game. And now, like that Robin, I'm singing my own tune. I'm not singing to anybody else's. I'm just putting up things that I enjoy, and maybe that is what's coming across on the videos, that if I'm enjoying it, then the audience will enjoy it as well. So it's interesting how times change, and there are still one or two people that hanker to the old days, and that's why I'm putting the videos back up, so that if you really want to look at Sean's allotment garden, then you can go back and have a look at them. I haven't got them all, but I've got a sizable chunk. I've got a sizable chunk of them, so I will put up online whatever I've got, and then you can have a look at it. Plus, it's good for me to have a look as well, and to see how I've changed. Although somebody did make a comment, and I don't think they realised it was an insult. They said, "I'm a bit confused. On Monday you looked fat, on Tuesday you looked thin, Wednesday you were thin, and now on Thursday you're fat again. What's going on?" And they didn't realise that the videos were 10 years apart, and so that was a bit funny. But the dates of all the videos are on there. Oh, thank you. The dates of all the videos are on screen, even if it's just a bit, April, May. Whereas all the latest videos I've been doing, I've actually been putting the full date on there. So this is quite handy. We interrupt this broadcast for a special announcement. I had an email off a viewer yesterday, in fact, saying, "Sean, I'm aware you have a Patreon account where people can support you every month for a few pounds and get extra videos, extra pictures and extra thoughts and feelings. But I don't want to commit to something like that, but I want to thank you for all the hours of time you've put into making these videos from over the years." So I said, I have a PayPal account where you can drop a little donation there. And she said, because of an issue with truck drivers in Canada, she no longer supports PayPal. So I'm not sure what that is about. So she suggested that I set up something called Buy Me a Coffee. Now, I don't like coffee, but I do like a cup of tea. So I have set it up, and I'll put the links in the video description below. So if you would like to buy me a tea as a thank you for all the hours of videos that I've produced this year, then now you can. And I thank you very much indeed, especially on these cold days. We all need a warm cup of tea. Now let us return to our broadcast. This land here, so this is, I don't think I ever told you this. This land here, by the side of the school, has been empty. This land's been empty for 18 years that I've been here. And last summer I approached the school and I said, "This land is empty. Would you be up for me renting it from you to set up a market garden?" And they said, "No, we've got plans." I thought, well, you haven't had plans for 18 years, so so I think I must have reminded them that they've got some land, and now all of a sudden it's football pitches. I'm assuming for the school. So yes, so there's a lot of stuff that goes on that you don't see on the videos, mainly because sometimes you need to keep your cards to your chest, because there are one or two people watching with bad intent. So sometimes you've got to be quiet, unless you go into the Patreon page. I do tend to be quite open about my projects and things there, because it's a bit of a safe environment, because people are paying, and it's only a few pound, but it feels a bit safer in there. My knee is starting to play up. Maybe I've walked a bit too much today. I think I've walked about 6 miles in total. So yes, I think the YouTube channel is in quite a good place now. We're still trying to go back to normal regarding the money, because if you remember back in September there was the issue where YouTube reduced my income by about 80%, and it still hasn't got back up to normal. That's why life's been hard. This is why it's a good thing, if you can do it, to contribute towards these videos by putting something into the Patreon or into the PayPal or into the new thing, which is buy me a tea. Every time I say buy me a tea, it reminds me of This Tiny Life, which is a YouTube channel that I watch, which is about a narrowboat. It's a very good channel, but they've just had their first child, so I don't think they'll be putting as many videos out as they have in the past. Oh, I'm in the park now. If you remember, back in the summer there was a bit of controversy between the dog walkers and a bit of rough land. It's still not sorted, but the person that cut down all the trees apparently has been fined. It was on the news all over the place in London. I think I'm going to head to a friend's house for a cup of tea, because my knee is suddenly a bit achy. My left knee. I don't normally have it on my left knee. Whew. Down by the river. I think this is the river Chaffinch. I'm not too sure. Or it could be the river Beck. John Rogers, who I will be meeting in a few weeks' time to do a video with. So if you've got any questions for John, put them below. But he did a video where he was trying to find the source of, I think it was the river Beck. I'm not quite sure. He has walked so many rivers. I thought maybe that is something that I could do when I go back to Wales, as well as doing my videos of growing my own food. I could also do some videos of walking the river courses and giving you some history about that. So I'm very much looking forward to it, because the scope for videos is absolutely massive, and not just in the area that I'm going to. I'm making lists of the camera's playing up. I'm making lists of things that I want to go and visit, attractions I want to go and see, because also it'd be good for me to reacquaint myself with the place, and if I can get a video out of it at the same time, so much the better. This is one of the other advantages of going back to Wales, is not only to walk the mountains and make some videos, but to get fit. Because in London everything's a bit too much on the flat, and we have buses here every 3 minutes. There's a bus, there's a tube, there's everything. We're spoilt. Whereas in Wales, I've already checked out, buses are every 15 minutes, which is very good, because when I was there, buses were every half an hour. And on a Sunday, I think the trains are still, well, at the moment there is no train to where I want to go, because they've dug up the line. But they are putting it back in order to electrify the network. Whew. Certainly getting my exercise in. But in Wales, everything's on a slope, so you're either going up or you're going down. And I've really put the weight on since I moved to London. It's too easy just to jump on a bus, pop down to the old allotment site, pop on a bus when you want to go and see a film. Whereas in Wales, if you go out to your house and you go to the bus stop and you miss that bus, half an hour you've got to wait for the next one, and you think, sod that, I'm going to walk. So I would often walk up to go and see my cousins, go and walk. 25 minutes wasn't anything. So it'll take a bit of, this walk-in now today that I've done is a sort of practice to get me fit again. One thing I will not miss about London are these parakeets. They're actually green parrots. I remember when I came to London 18 years ago, and I was on the phone to somebody. I can't remember who it was now. Could have been my cousin. She said, "Give me a call as soon as you get there. Make sure that you've got, that you've got there and everything's fine." So I got here, and you do, you give them a call. So I phoned her, and I said, "Yeah, got you. Everything's fine." She said, "What's happened? You've gone very quiet." I said, "I don't know where I've come to, but there's a parrot in the tree, in the garden." And there was parakeets. We don't know where they've come from. There are rumours they were from a pet shop, and some activists went to the pet shop and opened all the cages, let them out. There's another story that, is it Bill Wyman, that he had some in his garden in a cage and they escaped. And the other rumour is, which is the one that I like, is that, because they've been here since about the 60s, I think, the other rumour is that Pinewood Studios, which is up in North London, that they were filming The African Queen, I think starring Audrey Hepburn, if I'm correct, and they had parrots on the set, and during filming somebody left the door open and a few of them escaped, and over the years they've multiplied and now we've got thousands. Now they're all over the place. And I remember the last time I spoke about them, somebody said they had seen them as far as Sefton Park in Liverpool. Is it Sefton Park or Croxted Park? I can't remember now. So yes, there are parrots in London, but they don't half make a terrible noise. I'm just approaching an allotment site here, which I will show you. They've still got the flags up from the coronation. So we've got this little alleyway here where you're not allowed to cycle. It's a little bylaw, although people do, and I used to get annoyed because I would always get off my cycle and push it, and then you'd see people going through a pull at a gate type of thing. Yes, there is an allotment site hidden away down the lane here, and they've had a problem with rats for years. And I remember one time I came down here and the rats were all over the place and they didn't want to escape. I remember walking down here and they just stayed there. They just looked at me as if to say, "You're in our house, so do as we say." I think somebody from the allotment site was feeding them more. But now you can walk free and there's no rats at all. There is a cat that walks around who lives in one of the houses. Have I had an allotment on this side? Let me have a think. I was thinking about doing a video before I leave where I give a little tour of all the allotment sites that I've been on. No, I haven't had a plot here, but I was offered one back in the spring, in fact, because when I put my name down for a plot about 5 years ago, I put it all over the place, and weirdly enough this year they all phoned me. So I came down to have a look, and me and a friend were going to take this one on just because it was in the middle of our houses and it had a greenhouse here. In fact, one of One of my viewers has got a plot down there, and I'd often come down and we'd have a chat. He was a great component, great supporter of pilchards as a diet. But yes, it was this plot here that I was offered. And I was tempted, just because it had the greenhouse. It'll be nice to go to Wales and just have the one plot, to be honest. Talking about plots, I have now officially given up my roots allotment. I did that this week. I've taken myself out of the WhatsApp group because I didn't want to see all the good stuff that was going on. So that's done. The rusty plot, I will give that up just before I'm about to go. So that's all in hand. Oh, it's been a nice walk, this. A lot of the videos I'll probably do between now and when I go will be so that I can look back, and so when I have those down moments or I want to reflect on my time here, I've got a video and I can go, oh, let's have a look at the bus ride. This is why I'm putting a lot of the bus rides on the channel. I can say, oh, let's have a look at the bus ride to the allotment site, because there will be a period of adjustment in getting used to Wales. So, and I'm prepared for that to happen, you know. You can't just go somewhere and everything's roses within the first week. But I've already earmarked places to go for a cup of tea. Oh, I'm very much looking forward to it. You wait until you see the beauty of this area. Walk up to the top of the mountain. It'll take an hour to get up the top, and then you won't see a soul for hours. I remember talking to an old miner years ago, because I wrote 2 books about this area which are on Amazon under my name, Sean James Cameron. And one of the guys, he said to me, he was about 80 when I interviewed him, he said he'd gone to the doctor back in the 30s or something, and he had a problem with his chest. It was, I forget the name now, coal on the chest. The miners had it quite a bit. And the doctor just said to him, get up in the morning, at dawn, cut a few sandwiches, put a tea in a flask, do a flask of tea, and go up to the mountains and stay up there all day and breathe in the air. And he said he came down and his chest was fine. And I remember after hearing that story, I had the flu and I could hardly breathe. So I thought, I wonder if there's anything in this thing that this doctor said. So I did the same thing. Cut a few sandwiches, flask of tea, walked up the mountain. It took ages to get there though, and the sweat was coming off me, dripping off me. And I got up there, I spent a few hours breathing in the fresh air, and when I came down, my flu had gone. Look at these stairs. I do like these stairs here. Something romantic about them. Old-fashioned romantic. What I'm going to do before I go is I'm going to have a little walking tour where I go around the places and take pictures. Right, I'm very close to my friend's house now, so I'm going to have a cup of tea, and I'm by a very busy street. So I will bid you farewell. So thanks for joining me for this ramble around the streets of South London. And I'll catch up with you very soon. And by the way, Merry Christmas. So from me until next time, bye for now.